Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. So a few months ago now I picked up this infrared thermometer made by Parkside from my local Lidl supermarket, and ever since I've been playing around with it and I think it's quite an interesting tool. So in this video I'll be doing a little review of this infrared thermometer. So on the box it says that you get the 3-year warranty, infrared thermometer, PTIA 1, operating modes, simple measurement / reference measurement. So you can take a measurement and then you can store that measurement as a reference and then check a new measurement against the referenced one. Measuring range -50 to 380 degrees Celsius. Deviation 0 degrees / 0 degrees +1.5 degrees / +3 degrees. Selectable reference levels 0.5/3 / 5.5 Celsius. Measuring units Celsius and Fahrenheit. Says again on the box -50 to 380 degrees range. Optics 12:1 ratio of measuring distance. Measuring range 12 meters and 1 meter in height for fast surface temperature measurement. And it comes with the manual as well. And then on the side of the box it says the colour display and signal for differences between the selected reference value and the measured value. Blue, measurement is colder than reference value. Red, measurement is warmer than the reference value. Green, measurement is approximately the same as the reference value. So when you've set that reference, if it goes colder than the reference, it will go blue. If it goes warmer, it will go red. And if it's the same, it will stay green. And it says that the laser has 8-point laser, indicates the measuring area. So there's like a little central one and there's some around the edge. The box also gives some illustrations, some examples of how you could use this machine. On the top you've got the machine being used on a log burner to check weak spots, to check where the temperature changes, that sort of thing. You've also got an image of under the bonnet of a car, checking the temperature of an engine, let's say. There's some cooking hobs as well, and a window to check weak points in the window frame or where cold air might be escaping from the home. So here is my workshop thermometer. I've had this for years. You can see it's measuring about 4 degrees in here at the moment. I've just come in, there's no heating at all. Right, so I've got a hot drink freshly made in front of me and I'm going to use this to help me to demonstrate how this machine works. So here's the machine, on and off button here in the center. Turn it on. I'll get this nice and close up to the camera. So you can see it's displayed in Celsius. This button at the bottom here, if you press it, it will go from Fahrenheit to Celsius. I prefer Celsius, so I'll leave it there. It's got the on and off button, and then it's got the arrows here, left and right. That's to change your reference point. You've got 0.5 degrees, 3 degrees and 5.5 degrees. So if you set your reference point, let's say at 20 degrees, and then you set this to a ½ degree, then if the temperature changes by ½ degree, one way or the other, then it will tell you by either going blue or red. If you want less of a difference, if you don't want it to be so sensitive, you move it up to the 3 degrees and then up to the 5.5 degrees difference. So when you press the trigger, it will take a reading of the temperature. You can see that little arrow dot back there, the laser dot back here, and whatever the temperature of the surface is, it will be displayed on the screen here. So that's the outside window of my workshop. It's very cold today, I've got no heating on at the moment. It says it's 4.1 degrees. So if we set that as a reference, what we can do is press and hold this button, and then our reference is set at 3.8 degrees. So we have our reference point set at 3.8 degrees. Let's up this. We've got 3 settings here, so we'll start it on the smallest setting, ½ degree difference. So if that temperature changes by ½ degree, we're going to know about it. So if we press and hold the trigger again, we're showing the same area, 3.8 degrees. Let's move over to the cup of hot drink, and immediately it's gone up 32 degrees, and it's telling me that this temperature is hotter than the reference point, and that's why it's flashing red. Take it away again, and it goes back to what it was before. Back to the drink. So now let's do it the other way. We'll start it again. Let's set the reference point on the hot drink. So if we just hold the trigger, set the reference there, up it onto 0.5 degree difference. Now if we move over to the window, we should see that the screen goes blue, showing that the temperature is colder than the reference point. There we go. We're back to sort of 4 degrees outside on the window there. Back to the drink. And there we go, we're back to green, which is the same temperature, or roughly the same temperature. So that's basically how this machine works. It's great at, first of all, telling you what the temperature is of the surface of something, whether it be a hot drink or a table or a window, and then you can check what's colder, what's hotter around that area. So for windows, for example, I used it in my house to check. I referenced the sort of glass area, the double glazing, and then I went out towards the frames to see if there was any weaker spots. So what I was looking for is a drop in temperature, and there was a slight drop in temperature, but nothing to worry about. I did the same on my loft hatch to check around the edge to see if there's any leaks, and I actually found that the insulation on my loft hatch, because I redone it, seems to be better than the insulation on the seal or above the ceiling. So when you check the loft hatch, it's warmer than the rest of the ceiling, which would show that the insulation of the hatch is superior to the insulation that's already in the loft. So you wouldn't really know that unless you had a machine like this. It's really difficult to know that. You can see it's just turned itself off after so many seconds of being inactive. So it's handy to have it, whether you're checking the temperature of a liquid, or you want to find out whether your house has any leaks. You can reference against normal areas that you would typically expect to be a certain temperature, and then you can check around with this laser and see if there's any differences in temperatures. I don't know how accurate this machine is, but what I like about it is that because it's got that reference point, even if it isn't that accurate, you can still work out how hot something is in relation to something else, or how cold it is in relation. So you can clearly see whether or not this machine is accurate. It will still tell you that the drink is much hotter than the window over there. And that is the useful part about this machine. So I hope you found that useful. Very simple little device to have. Very useful. Checking temperatures, checking spots in your home. You might have draft, you might have gaps where cold's getting in. You can find them with this machine by just setting that reference point to 0.5 degree, 3 degrees or 5.5 degrees Celsius, and working out where it gets hotter or colder. Okay, so that is about it then for this video. So I think it's quite an interesting little tool. I'm glad I bought it. It's really fun checking the different temperatures around your home, checking for weak spots. If you want to make your home nice and warm, you can figure out where the insulation is letting you down, or the lack of insulation, draft points, things like that. It's quite a useful little tool. So if you did find this video useful, please remember to like and also consider subscribing for more DIY related videos. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.